All right. Good afternoon, everybody from cold Oklahoma. This morning I woke up, went outside, it's about 32 degrees. Does not feel like April. Even more so when I walked to campus today and none of you were there. But hope you all are doing well. I'm joined today by a couple of fellow students, Taylor Helmer and Javi Rubio, are with me today. And we want to talk about online education today. We know we've heard from a few of you, just the challenge of navigating online classes. You've got family, you've got work, you've got other things that have your attention back home. And so Taylor and Javi have been gracious enough just to sit down a little bit and answer some questions for us. So first of all, Taylor, let's start with you. Just how you're doing during this time and what's life like for you at home right now? And then Javi, if you'll follow up.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Some days are obviously better than others. Some days are hard. Just missing the interactions just kind of like make your day a lot different, and just finding joy in different things has been a challenge, but forced me to be creative. And I miss school, but overall I'm starting to find a groove that's working for me.
I'm doing well as also definitely, like Taylor said, it's hard to get in that groove of like you're at home, so like you don't see that at school, and so getting in that groove of just being like organized, sitting down and actually doing homework instead of socializing with your family or going to pet your pets, whatever it is. So yeah, but other than that, I'm doing pretty well.
And I think that's probably one of the things just to consider as you and I talk is, I've heard from so many students, just that transition is rough. And I think the first thing that we would all agree in is saying that's okay, right? That this, anytime you go through a major life transition, it's hard to define a new normal. And that's what we're all doing right now. All of us are doing that. And so give ourselves permission to just say, I don't expect myself to have everything figured out right now, and I'm going to keep plugging away and communicating with my professors, with my family, with all the parties involved, and figuring out this day by day. Okay, so all right, Javi, let me ask you a couple of questions. We'll just start with one here. So if I'm a student and so much of school right now is on Zoom or online education, and if my internet stops working or Zoom calls don't work out, or maybe I can't attend for whatever reason, any advice on how to navigate some of those things that students run into?
So what I would say is, because I have really bad Wi-Fi where I'm at, and I've been kicked out of Zoom a couple times. So when I am able to get back in, I'll get back in. But for the most part, one of the most important things that I've done is make sure my notifications for like Brightspace and my Outlook email are on. That way I'm getting it through my phone, and if some like announcement comes up, I'll get it immediately. That way I know what's going on through the school. And so for me, that's just an easy way to stay connected to my teachers or something if like the Zoom calls aren't working or if something like that happens.
I agree with Javi. I think one of the most beneficial things for me is getting all my notifications to come to my phone. Every email pops up as a notification. That's definitely been a way to stay on top of things. But another thing, I know my teachers, a lot of them have recorded their lectures on Zoom, similar to we're doing right now. And so I can go back if there's parts I missed. If I got on late, I can go back and check those. But overall, I think it comes down to just communicating with your teachers. If you miss something, they're all offering extra grace during this time, and like they just want like you to communicate with them, and then they'll figure out a way for you to get the content.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Just to echo that, I think one of the things in general during times of transition is communication is vital. And I know our faculty and our staff are doing as good a job as they can to communicate. But we can help each other out with communication being a two-way street. And if you have a question, shoot your faculty member a quick email or a text, right? And don't just assume things, especially during these times. Just that communication piece is really important. So thank you to you both. Taylor, how about for you? You're at home, you've got family, you've got school stuff, a lot of different things that are just a part of your life. And whereas when you're at Oakwood, you have a class schedule and things kind of flow, you can build a schedule around that. But when you're at home, things are a little bit different. So talk to us a little bit about how you've learned to manage your schedule with family time, with different responsibilities you have at home, while still prioritizing education through Brightspace.
Yeah. Um, I think the first thing is just to remember that like school is your first priority. So for example, what I like to do is on Sundays, I write out my entire week through the course calendars that my teachers have sent. I write out like everything I have each day so that I know like that's the schoolwork I have to do that day so that I can plan the other things such as family and activities and exercise, stuff like that around my school. But mainly just keeping a routine has helped me. Like, for example, I like to like keep my routine of waking up in the morning, eating breakfast, and then going to the office and getting my work done in the mornings just to try and feel somewhat normal. Like I have a certain time each day that I like expect myself to get my work done.
And I kind of agree with Taylor. For me, I think one of the main things is to keep like a planner kind of. I have a whiteboard that actually has each date written, like each day of the of the month. Sorry. And so like April, I have all my month filled out, and it just shows what work I have to do each day and what I need to get done. And so that has helped me a lot just to stay on top because nursing has not stopped. I mean, we still have the same amount of workload. And so um, doing that has helped me. But also, like, for me, I've made sure that my parents know that the school is my priority as I am here, and that I'm not going to be, or I mean, I'm going to be around, but I'm not going to be like around like I was if school wasn't around, like school wasn't on. And so just making that priority of putting school first, setting aside time to do your homework, to do whatever it is you needed to get done. And then that way you have that other free time to go hang out with family, with your pets and stuff. So, yeah.
You've mentioned pets now twice, Javi. So do you
I
have?
know. I do. I have three. I have three birds, and they're loud. So, yep.
I love it. And students, let me see if I can show this to you real quick, just so you have this as a resource. And I think this hopefully will show up on the video. Maybe not. Actually, it doesn't. But if you look in Brightspace, up at the top where you see all your content and classes and stuff, there's actually a calendar link that you can have access to your calendar as well as a task list. And so that way, you know, you can have everything in one centralized place with coursework, communication stuff, syllabi for classes, but also a calendar and task list that you can have everything in one simple place. So we'd encourage you to take advantage of that as a resource. Last question, Javi, we'll start with you. What tips do you have for studying, staying on top of online coursework with everything going on right now?
Yeah. So, I think my tip would definitely be to find that quiet space wherever you're studying at. For me, it's in my room. I have a desk in my room, and so like I'll close my door, and I'll just work at the desk, whatever it is. Have my classrooms here, get on Zoom, and so just finding that quiet place and wherever you are at your house, and just being by yourself to do your homework. That way you don't have those distractions.
One thing that I've kind of learned is that I can't really study in my bedroom. Like my bed is like where I sleep, so I feel like I have to leave. So we have an office in our house, and I feel like I've really learned that when I go in there, like that's my place. I shut the door, like that's kind of just my. I usually have to find that, like Javi said, that quiet place where you can get your work done. Um, Another thing is just like managing your time. Like while we're home, it's really easy to get into the like idea that like we're kind of on a break right now, and like a lot of us like to sleep till noon and like then wake up, and you know, but like I've really learned that when I wake up at 8 like on a normal day and like go to the office, get stuff done, get myself ready, like I'm a lot more productive that way when I can feel like I have some sort of like schedule and routine.
Excellent. Thank you to you both. Again, we've talked students just about controlling the things that are in your control. There are some things right now that aren't. but you can control the when you get up and how much time you give to studying and communicating with your family and also with faculty members. And so, although it takes a lot of effort to do that, this can be an incredible time of growth for you all, right? That in a few months, when we can get back to school and get back to normal, that you can look back on this time and say, yeah, it was tough, but I also learned and I also grew from it. Okay, so Taylor, Javi, thank you both for taking the time just to talk a little bit today. And hopefully we'll see you on campus sooner rather than later, okay?